My name is Christoph Kredler. I'm Managing Director and co-owner of GMK Electronic Design. My father was one of the two founders of GMK about 30 years ago from now. And so my dad has always been a great inspiration for me, right? And we are still cooperating on a daily level almost, right? And I'm enjoying the time with him. And given his age and his perspective, there are differences in different opinions for certain aspects or certain questions. But I think this is an important part also for the whole company, right? We have employees in different ages with different level of knowledge, a different approach to certain questions and problems. But in the end, everyone is bringing in their strengths, right? And making sure that the outcome will be the best possible we can do. My favorite GMK sets. It's a hard question actually, but if I have to narrow it down, probably Nautilus and the Dots are one of my favorites, but there's so much talent out there, so it is a very hard decision. People sometimes ask about a typical day at GMK. As I'm a pretty team-centered person, I'm trying to stay constantly connected with my colleagues. This exchange usually takes up most of my time, honestly, and it is an important part of my daily routine. So most of my hours are being spent in meetings, but also calls and personal talks within the company, but also, of course, with our vendors and suppliers. I think it's important for us as a business and for me in person just to stay up to date and connected with everyone. And this is also one of the great excitements of this job. Keeping in touch with the keyboard community is an important part of our business, and therefore we try to get in touch with designers, but also with the end users as often as possible, whether it would be online or in real life on meetups or other occasions. I'm a regular visitor of forums like Keycap and other platforms as well as. But my time for these activities is kind of limited, so I leave these to my colleagues. The enthusiast keycap market has become a very important pillar within GMK's product portfolio. And it is indeed a strong addition to our industrial business. I think our significant investments in manpower as well as machinery are a clear statement towards our commitment to the enthusiast keycap market. Judging decisions in retrospective is always tricky. Nevertheless, the decision to acquire the tool from Cherry was the right step without any doubts. It allowed us to further serve industrial needs and also made this product available for the growing enthusiast community. In my opinion, Cherry set the bar really high regarding the actual product of keycaps. It's not just the actual outcome or the quality, it's the overall process behind the toolings. The construction itself was very innovative regarding that the tooling has been manufactured decades ago. So this is quite impressive. And I'm very proud that we had the chance to build on from there. Regarding the actual quality, I think there has hardly been any competition because the process is pretty complex. It's not entirely visible for the end user, and no one has to be aware. But the process or the manufacturing process itself is really challenging, and we had to spend years to fully understand every detail in this process and also the effects that little changes might have to the overall outcome of the product. COVID was was pretty tricky on our end. We saw these huge spikes in sales figures, but we also had to deal with problems in-house in production with our staff within our team, and there was nothing left which was predictable anymore. From one day to another, you cannot rely on your team anymore. You never know who's showing up tomorrow. Also with our suppliers, it was very hard to work these days, so I'm glad that we finally overcome these years, and I'm also very, very happy that we can all reconnect in person and finally meet again, not just online, but also in personal occasions. Regarding new projects, we don't have any fixed plans for non-ABS or even non-double shot products. But of course, we are working on a couple of exciting projects right now, and yeah, time will tell. I mean, creating a new Keycap profile like we did now with MTNU in cooperation with Matteo, I think it was the next logical step for us, right? Because in retrospective, we had the focus on these customization options, whether it be colors, legends, things like this. And for me, the next logical step in this direction would be to offer an entire new Keycap profile, which the designers could basically use for their projects. Because for every project, that's my opinion, every designer is having its individual design language, and therefore not every Keycap profile might be suited for that specific project, and that's why we want to come up with more variety, more options to support the creative people out there. So currently most Keycaps are designed around the switch or the keyboard. But as we are expanding our portfolio with MTNU, I think this will probably change. Many designers are aiming for a persistent design language, so I think it's good to offer more variety, not just regarding colors and legends, but also regarding the actual shape of the keycaps. GMK Clones. This is a good question. For me, the most impressive fact about the Keycap community is and has always been the outstanding level of creativity. While the project outcome is available for everyone, the tremendous effort to get there is often left in the dark. Exploiting that initial work without consultation and compensation seems not right to me. In the end, it all comes down to the power and awareness of the consumer. Every purchase decision has a small impact about how a future enthusiast community will look like. I think this video is a great chance to interact with our end user and hopefully shed some lights about internal details which might be interesting to the people out there. I hope so, and it's my pleasure to give you that insights, and I'm very happy how the whole community has developed over the last few years. It was quite an interesting journey for us, but I think for the customers as well, and I'm looking forward to a bright futures with more creative ideas and input, and we are definitely are open for new ideas and new ways to further improve our products, but also to come up with new and interesting stuff. So I'm very, very happy and looking forward. When I'm not acting as CEO at GMK, I'm usually enjoying my spare time with family and friends, usually outdoors. I'm enjoying being out in nature, whether it would be backpacking, hiking, and also ski touring in the wintertime.
That's perfect.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, that's all the questions I had.
Perfect.
Sweet.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, no, thank you.
Super excited for the outcome.